chapter of Behave book, that is packing. Let's start this chapter. The writer John liked to pack luggage for trip and announced that he would do the packing. After that, John thought that his ability to pack luggage was better than others. He asked his friends George and Harris to leave the task of packing to them. The two friends agreed to his offer instantly, which was strange. George sat comfortably on the easy chair and Harris bent his knees as he sat on the sofa and kept his feet on the table. After that, by saying that he would pack, the writer did not mean that his friend would sit and relax while he would do all the packing. He had meant that he would boss upon them while they would do all the chores. He would nag them and curse them for not knowing the work well, and then he would chip in to sort out the mess that they would create. He was irritated to see them sitting while he did all the work. He recollected that once he lived with a man who would sit lazily on the sofa all day through and would watch the writer do all the work. The man would say that enjoyed watching him go around doing all the work. This would make the writer mad with anger. The writer adds that he could not sit idle and watch other work like slaves. On the other hand, he liked to check their work, walk around with his hand in his pocket and direct them on how do the work properly. He feels that as he was energetic, it was part of his nature to behave in that manner. The writer did not say anything to his friend and started packing. As he closed it, Harry said that he had forgotten to pack the boot. The writer felt that Harris could have reminded him before he had closed the bag, but he thought that Harris was like that. This was followed by an irritating laughter by George, which made John wild with anger. John opened the bag to keep the boot in it. As he was about to close it, he was struck by a strange thought that had he kept the toothbrush or not. He says that he never remembers if he has packed the toothbrush or not. John adds the while traveling, he always messes up with carrying his toothbrush. He has nightmares of having packed it. Wake up in sweat and look for it. In morning he packs it before using it. Then unpack the bag to get the brush and use it. As it is the last thing that comes out the bag and he has repacked the bag. He forgets packing it again. At the last moment, he rushed to his room to get the brush and finally he wrapped it in the handkerchief and carries it to the railway station in his hand. After that, as John was looking for his toothbrush in his bag, he had to remove everything but he could not find it. He created a mess. He found his friend's brushes many times but could not find his brush. He kept everything back into the bag one by one, shaking each atom, and finally found the brush inside a boot. Then once again he repacked the bag. Now when John closed the bag, George asked if the soap was there inside it. As John was impatient, he repeated that he wasn't concerned if it there or not. Closed the lid and strapped the bag. Then he realized that he had packed his spectacle into and to open it again to get them. Finally, the bag was closed at 10 o'clock in 5 minutes. It means 10:05 p.m. Then they had to pack the food basket. Harris said that they were left with less than 12 hours to leave the believed they should pack the basket as well. Harris decided that food basket would be packed by him and George. John agreed to take his turn for some rest while his friend packed the basket. George and Harry start packing the hamper in a happy mood. They wanted to show John that they could pack well. John waited for them to create a mess because he considered Harris to be the worst packer in the world. John looked at the pills, at plate, cups, kettles, and bottle, the jar, pies, cakes, and tomatoes, uh, which had to be packed into hamper. He thought that as the boys would mess up, it would be interesting things to watch. The scene became interesting as they broke a cup at the start. John says that they broke the cup to indicate that they could not that to and to make things interesting. Harris placed the jar of strawberry jam on top of the tomatoes. The tomatoes were squeezed by jar and then they removed the damaged tomato with the help of spoon. Next, George stepped on the butter. John remained silent but sat on the edge of the table to watch the action. His silence irritating his friend. They became nervous and stepped on the things. They kept the things behind them and later, when they wanted them, they could not find them. They placed the pies on the bottom and kept heavier things on him, which smashed the pies. The boy overturned the can of salt on everything. John says that they created a lot of confusing with a small spice of butter. He had not seen anyone create so much mess with butter. That was worth 1 and 2 pence, meaning of it was very small piece. As they did, John removed it from his slipper and tried to put it into the kettle. As he was unable to do that, he packed it on a chair. Harry sat on it. The butter stuck to them. He stood up and both the boys went around the room looking for pies of butter. George looked intently at the empty seat on which he had placed the butter a few minutes ago. He took an oath of truthfulness that he had placed it there not even a minute ago. Once again they searched it in the room. They made in the middle of the room empty-handed. George said that disappearance of the butter was most amazing that he had known. Harry says that the appearance of the butter was mystery. George sat the butter sticking to Harry's back and said that it had been there all this while. Harry turned around and asked where it was. George fell to Harry's back and asked to stand still. They removed the butter and packed it inside the teapot. John's pet dog, Montmorency, participated in all this. His aim was to interrupt everyone and then get scolded for it. John added that if Montmorency was able to twist into a place and create nuisance but agreeing people and get things thrown at him in return, he felt that he had utensils that day in a good way. Montmorency's aim was to get people trip over him and scold him. By doing this, he felt that he has fulfilled his aim, would feel proud of his achievement. Sat on things to be packed. He thought that when George and Harry reached out for the things to be packed, they were reaching out for his good wet noise and would bring it forward for them. He stepped into the jam bottle. He shook the teaspoons. He acted as if the lemons were rat and stepped into the hamper to kill this rat. He was stopped by Harris, who hit him while frying pan. Harris blamed John for encouraging Montmorency for doing all this mischief. John says that a dog like Montmorency did not need encouragement. It was born to be like that and act like that. At 12:50, they had packed the hamper. Harry sat on it and said that hopefully nothing would break in it. John was indifferent and said if something broke it would not matter. As they were ready for bed, they went upstairs to sleep. As they settled in their bed, Harris asked John if he preferred the inside or outside of the bed. John said that he preferred to sleep on the inside of the bed. This seemed strange to Harris. George asked them that he should wake them up at what time. Harris replied 7, while John wanted to wake up at 6 as he had to write some letter. Harris and George and a discussion on the time, and finally they settled on 6:30, each accommodating his time by half an hour. George did not respond as he was asleep. Harris and George made mischief by placing the bathtub next to George's bed so that he would fall into out he woke up on the pretext that where he would take a bath as soon as he got up. Thank you. This chapter is over.